Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Cloudy Sheep and we are playing Hearts of Iron 4 as Russia on this very fine morning. So this episode I just really want to briefly have a look at the logistics first and our production lines, and then let's go over here and plan out our attacks against the Japanese a little bit more. So first off, let's look at the logistics and see whether we need to tweak our production. So first of all, something that you realize is we have an amazing amount of infantry equipment. Most of this is really this, which I think is weapons number 1 of the Soviets. So we're now producing weapons number 2, so it does make sense to keep on producing this simply to upgrade things. And we do have all of these things that we got from an enemy at some point or another, and I'm probably in between episodes gonna land and lease all of this out because it bothers me that it's in the list with these little types over here. So yeah, we'll need to think about this, but I think it's alright. However, what I realized is that there is a lot of artillery, and indeed you can see here at the weekly production column that we are producing improved artillery at a rate of about 500 per week. And we do have 16,000 of that stored, so we're not even upgrading here, we're just stockpiling massive amounts of artillery, and I don't think that's required. Likewise with anti-air artillery we are producing much more than we use, so I think we can phase out of these things a little bit. You also see that we do have a lot of medium tanks. Now this is just a slight modification of the other one, so it's not quite as required, I think, or it's not quite as bad to say that, you know, this really should be dropped or anything, but still we have 1,400 units of medium tanks. I'm not sure exactly how much that represents. If we look at our divisions over here, medium tanks, you see that with 2 brigades, no battalions, we are using 100 medium tanks, so it might be an appropriate reflection, but maybe it's a factor of 10, or something in between. I don't exactly know. Anyway, seeing we are here, something that you could also see is that we are lacking actually light tanks. We're using those on our infantry, on our motorized infantry divisions, which are actually a little bit mechanized. It's adding a little bit of punch to that. So there's that. But I think it might make sense to here switch out our light tanks against these medium tanks. That would give us a slightly higher hardness, slightly better heart attack, not much else, a little bit more armor, a little bit more piercing, hardly any more supply use, it's really just 1%, and it would free up a lot of light tanks at the cost of medium tanks. So we'd now use 150 medium tanks, which means 700 more, but on the other hand it would also mean fewer light tanks. Oh, it doesn't even show that anymore, but yeah, it would free up a couple of light tanks. So you know what, let's be a little bit more consistent over here, let's do this. It's actually a very cheap change, so here we go. That should mean that we are earning more light tanks. Now in terms of production, artillery, here you can see why we are producing so much of that. We are in fact committing 55 factory lines, so about a quarter of our production to improved artillery. I think that is way too much. Let's dial that down significantly. I think 30 factories is probably going to be alright. And that of course does free up a lot of factories to do something else. Right, so that's nice. Medium tanks, I do not think we should change this out very significantly because... oh, okay, that's nice. Because this actually... we are researching the next level of medium tanks. At that point we'll probably be able to produce the new ones, and I don't want to lose too much of the production efficiency over here, so that we can actually switch over. Right, motorized is still a priority, but I want to slightly shift things up here, so I want to make sure that we are producing fighters, naval bombers and carrier fighters first. After motorized equipment, we are still needing a lot of motorized equipment, so that I think is fine. We might actually want to increase this by 5 more factories and then produce all of these airplanes. Down here we'll probably advance the light tank in front of the artillery, Then let's pick the medium, the light self-propelled artillery, the medium tanks. I think this is fine. And then we have the weapons and improved artillery support equipment. Tiled anti-air, yeah, we are committing 15 production lines to that. I think something more like 7 is going to be alright. Submarines up here, I think just one factory committed to this, or one dockyard I should say committed to this should be fine. And let's move these heavy tanks up to over here. Although we don't need that many factories working on this, so let's do about 3, we don't have that many heavy divisions. That does leave us at about 10 or 12 more factories that we could commit to anything. I'm on a mind to commit these to a mixture of more naval bombers and actually more fighters. So I think we should actually aim to commit about 70, so a third of our production to fighter production. I think that would be excellent. Now that of course does leave us at a very, very big deficit for oil and rubber, which is an issue that we do need to deal with, especially since that also affects our carrier production down there. And you know what, so let's first move this submarine down here. I think that's alright. Do want to upgrade maybe some of our fighters. It could be a very short-term fix, so we would produce about 20 per day. We are so at about 25 days of decent production over here. So I think that would be okay. Right, good. Let's go ahead and do this. Of course, we are still not doing any national research focus. We should do so very soon. We should also briefly look at our supply situation. In fact, I think we can look at that via trade menu, see what is being extracted in terms of oil. And it's mostly in Azerbaijan, of course, and not really anywhere else. Azerbaijan and Montania. Montania, I think, is probably over here. Yes. So yeah, let's increase the infrastructure in both of these places so that we can extract a little bit more. Let's get Azerbaijan up, but also Montania. Right. Montania up there. And likewise with rubber, because that also continues to be an issue. Where are you being produced the most? Southern Indochina really is by far the most important, and Mandarai. So yeah, let's go ahead and increase the infrastructure in southern China. Oh yeah, that's very nice. You can actually see that an additional unit of infrastructure here is going to give us 5 more rubber. So yeah, definitely that is something. Is it? No, it's more or less linear, it seems. So that's nice. How about down here in Mandarai? That's just about 1, so not nearly as good. How does it look up here? So every unit of oil, every unit of infrastructure is going to give us about 3 to 4 units of oil, so I think that's appropriate. And down here it's about 7, so that's very nice indeed. Let's get this up here. Let's probably also get the repair of Indochina up there. All of this should be alright. I'm not sure why Brandenburg is still so low in terms of infrastructure, but it doesn't seem to affect the resource extraction, does it? I don't think so. Right. Okay, other than that you are still producing a lot of naval dockyards, which I think is appropriate since we do want to make our navy much stronger. Next thing, you see that the Brits are down here and the Allies actually did manage to produce a landing, so you know what, let's get our units from over here towards the front, maybe all except 4 Jaeger divisions or easier divisions, and let's get you to a plan to actually attack that. Just gonna shift for now and produce a defensive line, but I think that's alright. Very nice. Do we have a look at logistics? So yeah, you're seeing medium tanks much lower. On the other hand, light tanks, we do now have some equipment, so that is fantastic to see. Good. How does it look in terms of air superiority and all this? So over here We are now having more fighters in the air, but yeah, it's not really an intense conflict. I think due to the ranges involved, it's just not that important. Over here in the Far East, Japanese have a very weird mixture of planes in the air, but we should... Didn't we ask these people to get a couple of more fighters? Oh yeah, that was probably the end of last turn, so you're probably gonna be reinforced a little bit. Right, so with all that out of the way, let's have a look at the Japanese situation. So we want to cut in over here. You guys should all move over there. So we want to cut in over here and basically cut off the Japanese divisions from this line. So let's pick the 4th Army, I think, yeah, and adapt your plan a little bit, because right now, where does this actually end? So right, so we probably want to ask you to... You're ending here? Oh yeah. So we probably want to ask you to just conquer the territory that is left over after that. And yeah, that looks good, I think. Right. Good. Yellow army, so the 8th is over here. All of that is settled up there. These guys are still not withdrawing from over here, so that I very much like to see. This is a very difficult attack, but it seems to be working right now. 63, you should really drop down. But they are sending in more defenders, and these guys can actually pierce just our motorized division, so it's not quite as bad, but still, do we have enough punching power to attack over here? Huh. So there is, of course, also this urban territory, and you know what, I think I like the fact that one of these guys is withdrawing from there, and that only leaves the cavalry there. And here we go. So that, on the other hand, means that we can pick this guy, both of you, to attack into there. Maybe let's pick one motorized division as well. And here we go. So you have sufficient width. No, you don't. You can actually support this attack by, let's say, a tank. And that should hopefully overwhelm them very quickly. There we go. Even though it's urban terrain and thus much more difficult to really pierce, I think we should, due to the fact that they all shifted their defense to over there, we should probably be able to wipe them out pretty cleanly here. Come on, just 20%. I think just one more day. And come on. Here we go. Right. So let's pick our tanks and our motorized units. Let's move into here. And is this hills? Yeah, this is hills. This is all mountains. It's a little bit rough over here. So I think we want to try to avoid the mountains with our motorized and other divisions. So okay, let's first get into here. One of your motorized is going to stay in here, then go here, motorized stays, go here, a tank stays, go here, a tank stays, go here, another tank stays, and over here, the motorized division. So let's pick 2 motorized divisions on the other hand, and let's try to expand these guys into here. And maybe over there, and you on the other hand are going to go over here, there, there, there. Just try to cut off all of these guys very quickly. On the other hand, this attack I want to keep up for now, although maybe not with the motorized divisions that we can pull off, just so that these guys are still pinned down. Oh, a lot of Japanese guys down there. That I find a little bit discerning. Right, okay, you guys. No, actually start... The tank can start the attack. The motorized division can actually go a little on a little spoiling attack over there along the river so that we don't get flanked from the left side. And you know what? This guy over here can support this attack as well. Okay, you are being flanked, but that should be a matter of seconds. The tank actually wiped these guys out because they're very low in organization. Motorized division is doing a fine job. Now we need to reassign responsibilities over here a little bit. So let's ask the army over here. So the 6th, is it? No, the 4th. 4th army, you really should focus on the right part of this, and the other guys should focus a little bit on the left hand side. I think that's a fair distribution. Right, I think we should maybe... So you're going there. Could you go into these hills after that? Yeah, there is some attack going on. How about you guys do an attack over here so that we can throw them out? Yeah, that should be possible. You're doing a very fine job, I have to say. Can you actually get to Vladivostok? That might be a little bit... That might be stretching it a little bit too far. Oh, we do have 3 dockyards. So let's make sure that we are building more of these carriers down here. And that should be lovely. Do we have any chance of doing this? You're low on supply, but so are you. It's a bit more serious for us though. You are probably going over there, but we do have a couple of motorized divisions actually coming up there, so should be alright. You know what? Let's take you and ask you to go over here. Start the cutting off, and that's hopefully gonna be alright. You're being attacked. Interesting. Including from down here, so... But yeah, there we have it. 4 tank divisions. Low supplies, so why is that? Because this is a new region? Yeah. Yeah, that's a little bit unfortunate. Over here, you should probably very soon stop your attack. Let's get half of you there and one of you down here. So I think we are making good progress, but still... There's always the danger of just stalling these attacks. And again, we need to make sure that the 8th Army isn't totally confused by what we are asking it to do. We are in fact asking you to guard this front and this front only. I don't want to start the attack up here in the north just yet, because I think there's a danger of... Could I ask one of you to come down here? There's always the danger of it not being, or just pushing up the other guys too quickly, and thus not capturing them. You're doing fine. 2 motorized divisions, one of you should go here. One of you can actually try to get over here. We are now being counterattacked over there. One of you should probably get this. Here we go. Fine job. Very fine job. Nice. Yeah, alright. Now this attack really should stop very soon. We are wasting men, but... What are you doing? You could probably attack over there, right? So this position is becoming a little bit more precarious. You should actually try to get over here, and you should probably try to get over there. But I think this attack is alright. And you are pushing into over there. Probably we don't need all of you to do this, but still, since we are at it. Oh, then just counterattack over here, but I think we should be reinforced soon. No, you actually fought them back, so that's lovely to see. So attack over here. You know what? You can stop this. And you, this tank division. Some of you are getting over here, right? So let's get these guys into these hills. And that would be lovely. By the way, we are sending over the first army. Although I think they're probably, yeah, they're still around here, so not that useful. Bombing some supply convoys without much success. Just the way it is. We do now have some political power, so that's very nice actually. Let's also take a brief look at the situation up here. It would seem like the Third Army is in position. How prepared do you feel, Third Army? You don't think that the plan is good, because some divisions are still not in position, really? Oh, you're going down there. Okay, fine. Let's wait a little bit. I don't think they are going anywhere from that pocket. And we don't need the forces anywhere else, so all of that is alright. You know, you guys, if that is actually free, please do get into that. Likewise over here, you know what? If just go in here and you guys just start mashing these guys. I think that's a very nice place to be in. Right, you guys can now officially attack over here. I think they are all strategically redeploying, which is fantastic to see. Because that robs them of all the organizations, so you know, sometimes you feel a little bit bad about the AI, but then again. Right, tank over here. Let's get into these hills. Which means one of you don't need to do this, you can go over there. So we have a very thin line, but it's a line nonetheless. I think they are... Oh, you're going to the naval base, really? Oh well, we'll have to see. How's this attack coming along? Decent. Overrun, very nice. You are getting these hills. Lovely. So, right, let's tell the 4th Army to actually go ahead and push. And again, we'd probably need to edit this attack line. Where is it actually starting? Over here? Right, so let's make sure that you are actually just advancing to the coast. I think that's by now the more appropriate stance to take here. Yeah, you're doing that, which is fine. Do we want to take into these hills? At least a couple of these guys are on very low organization. Well, one of them is, so you know what, let's do this. Yeah, that seems fine. You're all advancing, you just should do this. Motorized division without a job. Let's get into the mountains, maybe we can cut them off. You're fine, you should probably go down here. You'll be under attack very soon. It doesn't seem very likely that you're going to win this, so let's reinforce this with a tank. Okay, you guys, you're really part of this. Okay, down here. Might want to push them back a little bit actually. So, yeah, let's do this. That's fine. Very low supplies over here now. Yeah, we really need to, I think, expand our our presence over here. You're going there. How about you try to attack into this mountain? I know it's not the most ideal situation, but still, we need to attack them much more strongly. That's going to be alright. Good. Command power. No, I think there's no point in using any of that. But it could take the airbase, that would be lovely. Low supplies in Eastern Theater. Battle plans over here. Anything that I should watch for? Okay, so the Italians are attacking. That's interesting. how about over here? I think obviously the best bit would be just to trash Thessaloniki itself, but for now it doesn't seem to be possible to do this. How do you look in terms of resources and production? I think we are mostly converting fighters, right? So that's why 200, yeah, so about 12 more days and then probably we are going to be in supply troubles, supply woes again, but you know, just the way it is. Let's slowly shift these guys down here. I don't think the tanks are of any use in the mountains, and they are probably going to help us down here towards Vladivostok. Motorized divisions can stay for a little while, but not too long. Right, you're going over there, you're reinforcing that, so that seems to be very nice. You are pushing down here, so that also seems to be very appropriate. And you guys all... Are you all advancing? Where are you going? Yeah, that's alright. Get you over here. You have beaten this guy. I don't think you can catch them off guard, but you might try. Yeah, so let's just shrink this pocket. You seem to be alright. Let's get you into here. Yeah, that's a mountain division, so a mountain province. Let's grab this with you, just because it's bothering me. But I think the supply situation should be getting a little bit better. Yeah, it is. So that is very lovely. Basically, that's because we are not channeling everything through this one city, but we now have a broader border. Words are hard between these two provinces, so that's very nice. You have overrun some enemies, so that also is very nice to see. You continue to advance, lovely. I think you should do that as well. Over here, you should be cutting off these guys very soon, so they'll be overrun then. Lovely. Right, you continue to attack over here. This is going to be bombed very soon. There we go. You don't actually need to come over here. I'd much rather have you go over here. But let's continue the advance to Vladivostok. This is going a little bit better than I expected. So lovely to see. This is probably not going to work out, but you know what? Let's do spoiling attacks. Grab one of you, go down here, grab this tank, go down there. 16 divisions over here. Yeah, that's not going to work. This is not going to work. Come on, I asked you to attack, but I didn't ask you to do stupid attacks. Why would you attack 16 divisions with 2? It just doesn't work, even if you have very good divisions. Right, so let's get you down here. I think you can railroad. It's probably the easiest. You are attacking, you are attacking, you are all attacking. So we are pushing very hard on Vladivostok, and I love to see that. Briefly, have a look at everything else. No dangerous naval invasions or any of that sort. Thessaloniki still heavily guarded. That's alright then. Also, logistics. Yeah, only motorized, having any deficit now, and that is decreasing. So that too is very lovely. So this pocket over here. They are throwing a couple of units from over there, which is good. I would rather not attack into... On the other hand, I mean, it would be ideal if we could conquer this province easily, because then these guys would all be out of supplies. So let's keep it like this for now. I think you should be reinforcing this over there then. Where are you all going, and why are you going like that? Well, you know what? I think we can push into here, just to shorten the front line very significantly. And then we'll see which one of these is going to be the better attack pattern. And there we go. How does it look in terms of research, by the way? Destroyers are very soon to be done. How much do we need to justify on Turkey? Justify war goal on anything really, I don't care. 25 political power, so that's very nice. That does mean that we can select a new national focus. I think the political tree over here is not necessarily required. Equipment effort, nice. Not critical. Special forces, armored, all of this. Ooh, 2 research bonuses. Where do you get 2 over here? Oh well. Aviation effort is probably the better one. Flexible navy we can't do. Let's do aviation effort then. Two air bases in Stalingrad. Well, that's nice, but you know what? Let's do so anyway, and that should be alright. And on Turkey, we're just going to start to justify a war goal on not Ankara, Istanbul, so the Straits, and that will also allow our 2 battleships over here to break out into the Mediterranean when it's time. And very soon we are going to get new destroyer techs, so that's very lovely too. So, next time, let's see how we can score for this pocket over here, and maybe get down to Vladivostok. I do see that you should probably continue to push over here. You 2 guys might want to attack there, you attack here. You support this attack. Maybe one of you, maybe the militarized is also going to go over there. And that should leave us very close to our original front, and with all of our territory back in our hands, except maybe over here. By the way, can you go over there? No, you can't. So it's really a straight attack into this. All of this still looks very stable, so not going to bother about that. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. See you again next time. Bye bye.